What It Look Like TV, we are back. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't, please hit that like and subscribe button for me. But on this one, we're going to get into personal responsibility. A lot of people out here are anti-personal responsibility. Anything that happens is always somebody else's fault. Couldn't be their fault, had to be somebody else's fault. But one person that I find when every time that they are involved in a situation that is always their fault, I'm talking about I haven't heard this person's name being mentioned without whatever bad coming along with it is all his fault, is MARILYN Manson. Whether you follow his music or not, you gotta admit that he's always embroiled in some type of controversy. Somebody did something because they was looking at his music, or somebody did something because he says something. It's like he is the literal puppet master. But let's get over to the new thing that they're trying to blame on MARILYN Manson this time around. Let's slide on over to this article from the Insider. And woman who got wasted at a MARILYN Manson concert blew up $15 million worth of property. Now she's suing the company that served her. This is a story right here coming out of Canada. And you heard that right. She caused $15 million worth of damage. And somehow this is going to be MARILYN Manson's fault, the concert promoter's fault, everybody's fault but her own. So let's dig into this article. Let's start it out. A 26-year-old woman left the MARILYN Manson concert wasted and devastated the residents of a Canadian street after an explosive car crash. Daniela Leese, who pleaded guilty to 4 counts of impaired driving causing bodily harm in October 2020, caused an estimated 10 to 15 million in damages. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison in February 2021 and is now suing the venue for kicking her out of the venue despite her level of intoxication, according to the CBC. Now she's suing them because she got too wasted at the concert. This is pure foolishness. Pure foolishness. All right, let's continue on. Referred to as the car bomb fiasco by CBC, the incident occurred on August 14th, 2019 at 450 Woodman Ave in London, Ontario, Canada. A 7-minute drive from the show at the Budweiser Gardens Arena. Lee's crashed her Ford Fusion, which had been registered under her father's name, into a single home. Okay, so y'all heard that. Now we're getting to the juicy part. She crashed her car into a home. Now, how you just don't crash your car into a regular car, another car on the street? I don't understand it. You crash it into someone's home. She crashed her car into someone's home. But moments later, a broken gas line caused by the crash set off an explosion that ripped apart 4 homes and injured several people nearby, per the CBC. She's also faced legal backlash in at least 6 civil lawsuits, with the victims urging for her to pay for the damages, according to The Independent. This has prompted Leese and her father Sean to file a lawsuit against Ovation Ontario Food Services, who they believe should share some of the liability. So let's get this right before we go any further. Because you were allowed to have alcoholic beverages at the venue should be partly responsible because you couldn't make it home? Shouldn't it be enough? Shouldn't you be embarrassed enough that you went to a venue and you got kicked out? Shouldn't that be enough for you? Instead, you're going to try to find a way to make it someone else's fault? This is what I mean by personal responsibility, and we have to get back to trying to accept more personal responsibility, because it's no one's fault that she crashed that vehicle but her own. They have Uber in Canada. They have ride shares in Canada. And if they don't, they have cabs in Canada. And if not, then she would have to walk home or find a ride home with someone else. But getting behind the wheel to drive, we all know that drinking and driving is wrong. So the fact that she even engaged in that, I don't know how you're trying to give her a way out. She was wrong. And it caused $15 million in damage. And if you ask me, 3 years in prison isn't enough. But let's see what they're accusing. According to the CBC, let me highlight it for y'all so y'all can see exactly what's going on. According to the CBC, Liza and her father are accusing Ovation's Ontario Food Service of having no regard for her intended mode of transportation as she exited Budweiser Gardens when they knew or ought to have known that she was or appeared to be intoxicated or impaired. The pair also accused the company and or the servers of serving Lee's when they knew or ought to have known that she was intoxicated or would become intoxicated. That makes absolutely no sense. The server shouldn't have served her, quote unquote, when they knew or ought have known that she would have been intoxicated, that she was intoxicated or would become intoxicated, the report said. That makes no sense. Of course the servers knew that she was going to get intoxicated if they were serving alcoholic beverages. But it's not the server's responsibility to have to babysit and nurse you. It's not the venue's responsibility to, when they kick you out because you can't handle yourself, to kick you out and provide a safe way home for you. This is a tad bit unfair to Ovation Foods in Canada. Pretty much at the end of the article there, but that's what I mean. It seems like every time Marilyn Manson is involved, they find a way to make it all his fault. They love to make it all his fault for some way, somehow, and they always can find a way to do it. It kind of really amazes me. Really amazes me. So y'all tell me what y'all think about it. Should the venue be responsible at all for anything that she did, or should she be responsible for her own actions? Is Marilyn Manson responsible? Should he have known that people was going to come to the venue and get drunk? Should the servers be responsible because they were serving her alcoholic beverages and they should have known that she was drunk or that she was going to get drunk from the beverages? Y'all hit me up in the comments section and let me know how y'all feel about it, who y'all think should be held responsible for it. If y'all asking me, it's one person that's responsible for all this. And it's the person that got kicked out, got in the car, got behind the wheel, drove home, crashed not into a car but into somebody's house and caused $15 million worth of damage. But tell me how you feel. This would have looked like TV. If you ain't hit that like and subscribe button yet, please do that for me. It's going to help me a whole lot in the algorithm. Leave a comment for me. And I appreciate you. If you done made it to this point in the video, you my MVP. I'm over here working hard for you. Check me out on the next one. And I'm out.